Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video we're going through the GWS vs Hawthorn game, the last recap of today, as it is the fourth one today, so we'll have two and the round review tomorrow, and then we'll be fully caught up, which will be good. But yeah, GWS ended up winning this 12 goals 12 84 to 12 goals 10 82, but very close one. And GWS came back from the brink. They were, 29 points down at three-quarter time, and they've just come back and absolutely stolen this one. But anyway, let's just jump into this video. Probably going to be a short one to get this one over and done with, given it was the fourth video today. But anyway, Lachie Whitfield, 137, was the captain in the end for me. His 132, 145, 127, and now a 137. Well, the 3 games prior to that sort of convinced me that he was going to be a decent enough backup option, especially with the forward line that Hawks had. There was no real stopper in there, so I thought he was just going to get his ball. And that's exactly what he did. 37 touches, 10 marks. That's what's going to happen. And so, yeah, 24 kicks amounts to 72 points on its own. Add the marks in, and he's already got a ton there. Add the handballs in and the tackles that he ended up getting. Not many tackles as he was getting in previous games. But still, 137, you take that as a captaincy score. I think it was the 5th highest score of the round, I think. Only beaten in my team by Nick Newman, which I was never going to be that bold, I don't think. So Jesse Hogan, 110, kicked 5 in the end, including 2 goals in the last quarter, was absolutely immense on the day, and is now taking the lead in the Coleman over Charlie Kono, who kicked none. So he came back from 3 back in one weekend to establish a 2-goal lead, I believe, at the top. Daniels was an inspired move to chuck into the midfield, I led to believe. I did check the statistics. He had 9 CBAs out of the 28, and including 8 in the last quarter. And I believe they kicked 7 goals to 2 in the last, so there was 10 available CBAs. So he had 80% of the CBAs in the last quarter. And it involved a 12 disposal, 1 goal, 2 mark, 3 tackle, or 3 mark, 2 tackle effort in the last quarter. And it was just immense. He just went off. And he's turned out to be one of the better forwards in the last couple of weeks. I'm intrigued to see his role in future, given that they did have a lot of their smalls go off. Jones here went nuts as well with 16 touches, 6 marks, 7 tackles. Just a really good game from him, but you can expect like a 40 or 50 next week, because that's how small forwards roll. They really are inconsistent. I know that we've seen Tom Papley put up 30s and Tom Papley put up 120s, and he's one of the better small forwards. Even you can look at his partner in crime almost into a certain extent, Toby Green, and you'll see here 103, he scored a 94 here, and then also, was it a 94? Yeah, a 94, and then the week before that, 58, 60, 95, 60, 87, 83, 72, 52, or 108. There's no real consistency there, so I wouldn't be touching that. Peatling, I knew he would go off. We said that he averages, 97 or 98 when he isn't sub. I don't know if he has another week before the likes of Kelly and Cornelio come back, but he's been absolutely on fire. 10 tackles again. I'm pretty sure he has a tough matchup this week against Brisbane, so I will most likely be trying to find a better F6 option, given that it's pretty easy just to sideways to like a Philippou or something like that. And upgrade another area as well, because I have like 200k, but that is sort of my general thoughts. Peatling has done his role there, and if he gets cemented into the best 22, even with Cornelio and also the likes of Kelly back, then there's potential loop options if Robert Hansen gets dropped, but I'm hoping he does. There we go. Toby Green, 94, we talked about that. Tom Green, 84, a little bit of a bummer. 22, 20, 21, 21. Just never really got the non-disposal work there. Kicked a goal as well late on in the game to, I think that might have been the winning goal. But yeah, he's been all right. I don't know whether to drop him not, because I feel like his baseline could still be a 105, even though he's got tough games. So it'll be interesting to watch that. I feel like there's going to be better options in better lines that I can see that are easier adjustments than Tom Green doing it, such as like, for instance, the ruck line. I want to get rid of maybe a Brody Grundy or something like that, who I think might struggle to only go like maybe a 105 or a 100. He may even drop down in those 90s and 80s games. But I can get him to a ruck that's going to go 130, 140, 150, and potentially go up there. Whereas I don't know if the midfielders that have it available are necessarily going to have that big of a scoring differential per se. Because the midfielders generally score the best. Ash, Himmelberg, Buckley, Uden, Briggs, Ward, McMullen, Cadman. No one really matters there, to be honest with you. Then we go over here and we go to Hawthorn, Amon with a 1-2-4. He's sort of been an interesting pick throughout this year. Never really hit the highs, but never really had a low game. He's just sort of done what he did on the wing almost, in a certain extent. Maybe +5, +10, but not really enough to really be a huge win. Make a definite interesting pick next year, I would say. As he had these games here, DMPs as well as 50s and 59 here, injury. I think, was that an injury? But yeah, he's certainly an interesting one as he's grown into definitely being a number 1 ruckman. I was, I think, a year early on him last year. Newman, 103, Newcomb, sorry, 103. Again, just a middling season for him. Hardwick, 102, 14 kicks, 5 marks, 5 handballs, 8 marks, 6 tackles. Moore with the 19, 3, 5 and a goal. He did his job. I'm pretty sure he has a tough game. I don't know who against. But yeah, does he have the... No, GWS has Brisbane. Who do Hawthorn have? Let me check who Hawthorn have. Round 22. Hawthorn have... Let me just check. They have Carlton. That could be an interesting one because Carlton are really flopping down the order. They've lost and they're in 8th spot now. They were in 2nd like 2 rounds ago. So I don't know whether that scenario of Carlton actually being a hard to score team on for... let's actually just double check this because I can do this quickly. Defensive versus matchups. So we're looking at the medium forward, the general forward / inside mid role for Carlton. And you'll see that that is flipped around. Almost instantly flipped around. The midfield is still slightly tough to judge, but the general forward role, Bo McCrew -21, Ned Long, but you had Travis Boak Mead as well as Paul Curtis score well. You had Harvey Thomas score well. Harvey Gallagher had a stinker. So yeah, it's an interesting one now that that's sort of flipped around and become neutral. In even though for some reason last time it was, let's actually check the last 10 because it might have been just that team scores were falling off that or whatnot. Let me actually just check because last 10 there were 3.4. So yeah, that's an interesting one saying that Dylan Moore has a hard matchup against Carlton that I've been hearing, and it doesn't really look like it's necessarily a hard matchup. So that's interesting. D'Ambrosio, 80, Sicily is still... I'm still waiting for them to potentially get another key back. If they get Barras and also who else over the line battle, then that'll be huge, and he will definitely be much better set to be able to play off his man if Scrimshaw plays a lockdown role. He will be like a 4th tall, and yeah, his marking ability will be... his scoring ability will be increased. But then again, Hawthorn played such a defensive style last year of just kicking around the back. So it'll be interesting if they do go back to that or whether they go helter-skelter style. And which would mean that Josh Weddle might get more involved. McDonald, Nash, Ginnivan, Gunston, Chol, Warple, Frost, Nick Watson, Will Day with a 40. He had, I think, a tag on him. Was it? Yeah, Bedford tagged him for a 40. And yeah, it just shows how awkward it's going to be with those sort of 700Kers, as we always say, those guys coming back into form potentially, because that looked promising, I would say. At the same time, though, it was sort of undervalued play, and you could have just gone up to those guys sort of 100 to 150K more expensive, and you probably would have got better bang for your buck just because they were more consistent. So I think that's what the problem was there. Ward, GF, Bruce, and Deer, and that pretty much is the video, trying to keep it short a little bit. But if you did end up enjoying it, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when content is coming, especially with the AFLW season coming around the corner, and I'm going to get started into that on the Saturday, so when I don't have any other videos for recaps or whatever, because they go on Sundays. But that will be my Saturday video. But anyway, if you did enjoy, remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.